Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the top 7 financial mistakes of entrepreneurs, small business owners, and ambitious career individuals. It is my belief if you are aware of these things and making a few changes, you'll experience more success. But not only that, you'll create more happiness and joy in your personal and business lives. I help growth-minded people, such as entrepreneurs and business owners, to achieve great personal finances. I've been doing this for over 3 decades, both as a personal financial planner and coach. In addition, I owned a successful financial technology company, which we sold a few years ago. So I understand some of the challenges that you face. So what are the top 7 money mistakes of successful entrepreneurs? First, let's set up the problem. You're probably great at making money, but not so good at accumulating it. One of my friends was meeting with his financial advisor recently who said, "Hey Mike, you're great at making a lot of money, but too good at spending it. You make 6 figures, but your debt is 5 or 6 figures, and your savings and investments are 0 to 2 figures. You made over $1 million in the last 5 years, but you have little capital to show for it." Let's get into some of these reasons. The number 1 reason is the conversation you have with yourself and maybe your spouse for your future money needs are being mistake number 1. You tell yourself, "I will just make more money." This is your future solve. You're a go-to for whatever financial challenges you have, or that you anticipate are coming down the road. You say, "I will fund whatever I need by continuing to make more money, get a new deal, make a big sale." However, this plan doesn't account for burnouts, layoffs, bad economies, and other unfortunate events. And by not building wealth, you're missing investment opportunities and you're stressed by the need to make more money. And you don't have a risk avoidance plan for economic slumps. This make more money mindset is connected to many others on this hit list. Advice: consider adopting different money mindsets. I have an outline of them linked in the description below. What's the next money mistake? Being mistake number 2, personal financial management is not a high priority. You're so busy managing your business finances, sales, your career, operations, and so on, you neglect your personal finances. Life doesn't work that way. If your personal financial house is messy, it will be a source of constant pressure and stress. What does this look like? A lack of financial education about things like wills and trusts and investing, so you neglect them. Overspending is probably common for you, since it's likely you do not have to follow something like a personal budget. What else does it look like? Well, you might be neglecting personal savings for emergencies. Often entrepreneurs with this mindset do not have much of a safety net, so during slumps, you're vulnerable to debt and more stress, which will block or affect some of your future successes. So being number 3, the next mistake is you mix business and personal finances. Do you have separate business and personal bank accounts, and you keep all the transactions separate, or do you mix them up? This is a mistake for a business that should really know what their expenses are so that you can anticipate them, so that you can make good business decisions about new expenses. This is a huge nightmare too for tax preparation and could result in costly tax audits. That leads us to the next mistake, being number 4, avoiding taxes. This is huge. I see business owners, entrepreneurs, and sole proprietors and 6-figure income people all the time make this mistake, especially those in their first 5 years of business. They don't even pay their quarterly taxes, and at the end of the year they have a huge tax bill that rolls over into the future year. They don't have enough money set aside in savings to cover it. Now, not only do they have quarterly taxes for the new year, now they have a tax debt hounding them. If you're not setting aside 35% of every dollar that you bring in, you might be vulnerable. This leads to the next one, being mistake number 5, lack of professional help. I find entrepreneurs all the time that do not have a professional accountant and tax preparer. They don't have a financial coach to help them get their house in order. They often don't have a comprehensive financial advisor to help them with things like insurance and investments. If they do have advisors, it's often very piecemeal. Going at it alone without great advisors is much more difficult in today's complex business world. Find a good coach, find great advisors, and more than anything, find a great accountant. Another great piece of advice here, if you're married, one of the spouses is amazing with personal finances, give them control of this responsibility. If they'll take it, trust them, follow them, and empower them. I have found this to be tremendously helpful over the years to business owners that are married. Well, let's get on to the next one. Being mistake number 6. For personal cash flow planning, I find that entrepreneurs and business owners, and again, those successful career ambitious types, they don't account for the ups and downs of business cycles. What I mean by this is that there are normal business cycles. When business is new, people often upgrade their lifestyle because they've had great success early on. However, what happens if business has a slump? Maybe a 50% slump. I'll never forget, I knew this very successful business insurance company that landed some great, very large corporate clients. They were making millions of dollars for several years. And guess what? They bought very expensive sports cars. And I'm not talking about a Corvette or a Mustang. They were buying Ferraris and even a fully restored Jaguar E-Type. They were neighbors of my parents. And it was amazing to see these cars drive by. I'm a car guy, so I thought it was really cool. Then guess what? They lost a few accounts. And although they still remained in business, they lost almost all their personal assets. And sadly, they went through a divorce. This might be a gross example, but it's not rare. I had a client that after a spectacular year, the three partners went out and leased 3 brand new Cadillac Escalades. The following year, guess what? They had trouble making payments. Don't fall into this trap. It can be very stressful. A friend of mine just told me last night, we were talking about his real estate business and he knows a lot of people. And some of his friends have failed in the real estate world because he said they struggled with what is called consumption. That's another term for spending. My advice to you here is live on 70% of your net after-tax income. Set aside 30% for slumps and emergencies. Mistake number 7, neglecting personal retirement planning. This one is connected to the other mistake of neglecting personal finances and assuming you'll just make more money, or assuming that someday you'll sell your business with enough money to retire. So you justify not saving for retirement. But it's smart to have contingency plans for anything that you do. There you go. That's the top 7 personal financial mistakes of entrepreneurs. But it isn't so much of a financial mistake, but it greatly affects it. Then we'll get on to the bonus. Mistake number 8, poor time management. What does it look like? Well, it means you do not have time allotted for close relationships. They get pushed into the margin. Same goes for activities that provide entrepreneurs with times of uplift, rejuvenation, or restoration. Things like great leisure activities, deeper pursuits of faith or spirituality, and just genuine relaxation. Business owners that have clear scheduled time for business and personal activities end up being so much more happy and so much more successful. The reason is I find that they're more efficient and productive at work. Emotionally, they're more balanced, and less emotional people spend less and manage their personal finances much better. This one is pretty hard to do. As a successful business person, I can relate to this. It never felt like you could do enough. There was always one more email, one more post that you could do, one more call you could make. It never feels like you can do enough. But if you plan your time well, you'll find that you'll have well enough time to do the important activities. All right, I hope by knowing these top 8 mistakes that you'll be able to address them and have great business and personal finances. I am confident that if you do, you'll be more successful, productive, and happy in your finances, faith, business, and personal and family lives. Thank you for turning into this channel. Please like it and subscribe to be notified of more great videos. For now, be smart, be intelligent, live with wisdom, and you'll enjoy great happiness and success in all areas of your life. Thank you.